morning, lads. Here we go with today's video. Today we are reacting to a Hoops reference video. We're reacting to 4 blockbuster trades that completely shut down the Lakers' repeat chances. This was a video created by Hoops Reference, so go check him out. When I'm recording this, was a day ago, but probably it'll be about 3-4 days when this gets released, so go check him out. Link to the video is in the description below, but let's get into it, shall we? Also, let me know of 4 blockbuster trades that will shut down the Lakers repeat down in the comments below, lads. But headsets on, let's get reacting, shall we? This is a minute video. I got the hiccups. This is lovely. Just ate lunch.
So we've done a few of these kind of videos recently, and I'm thinking of making it a more recurring type of video we'll continue to do moving forward. But essentially, for today's video, we're going to be analyzing a topic proposed by mainstream sports media outlet Bleacher Report. A few days ago, they released an article titled NBA Trades to Prevent a Los Angeles Lakers Championship Repeat, where the author proposed 4 trades that, in his mind, would elevate the team involved in the trade ahead of the Lakers in the NBA's hierarchy, and would then result in them having a better chance at winning it all. For this video, I'll be taking a look at each of those 4 proposed trades, and I'll be giving my thoughts on whether or not they would actually be as impactful as they believe they would be, along with whether or not they're even realistic trades in the first place. That's the plan for today, and if you want to check out the actual article itself to see the reasoning they give, I'll leave that linked in the description of the video. The first of the 4 proposed trades in the article is between the Denver Nuggets and Washington Wizards.
Yeah,
and it's
I mean, this one's pretty damn obvious, alright? This one's pretty damn obvious. It's been rumored for a very long time. The Nuggets do have enough assets to try and get Bradley Beal, whether or not the Wizards want to give up Bradley Beal. Personally, I don't think Bradley Beal's getting traded at all now, because the Wizards are on a good streak. They're starting to get things going. I don't think the Wizards are going to be trading Bradley Beal anytime soon.
The Nuggets receive Bradley Beal in exchange for Gary Harris, Michael Porter Jr., Bull, a 2021 first-round pick, a 2022 first-round pick
It's a good package. It's just,
and a
if I was a Wizards, I wouldn't do it.
2024 first-round pick. This is a deal that obviously is meant to elevate the Nuggets to contender status, and by doing so, they're giving up key rotational pieces, they're promising youth, and quite a few future assets, with 2 first-round picks and a pick swap included in the deal as well. This is probably as good of a deal for Bradley Beal as the Wizards could get on the market if they ever do decide to shift their focus towards a rebuild for the future.
It is probably the best deal you're going to get for Bradley.
It would be quite enticing for them, but does it actually put the Nuggets over the top as finals contenders? Well, offensively, they would be even more lethal because Nikola Jokic's scoring and playmaking ability makes any team around him an offensive force, and along with Jamal Murray's ability to catch fire in any given game, the presence of Bradley Beal's consistent 30 points per game would absolutely take things to another level. But the area where the Nuggets need most to address that this trade doesn't really do is their defense, as the team is currently ranked in the bottom third of the league in that regard.
Yeah, that's the problem. If the Nuggets did do this, they'll be kind of almost in the same situation as the Nuggets. Who's going to defend, you know? Their best defender's going to be, what? Probably Jokic? Oh, no, they've got Will Barton. Oh, they should be okay. But still, defensively, they wouldn't be great.
The Nuggets would be going the route,
which is where the Lakers would actually smash them, you know? Because the Lakers are a bloody good defensive team.
The Brooklyn Nets took, where they focus fully on offensive firepower without the ability to consistently stop other teams.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
The issue is that the trio of Jokic, Beal, and Murray is not as productive as the trio of Durant, Harden, and Irving. The Lakers, who are the team to beat in the West, meanwhile, rank as the league's best defense, and in crunch time of big playoff games, they'll still be able to get stops, while the Nuggets may struggle to do so. This trade obviously elevates the Nuggets to the top tier of contenders, but I probably would still slightly favor the Lakers in a series. The next proposed trade in the article, believed to elevate a team above the Los Angeles Lakers, is between the Brooklyn Nets and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and in it the Nets give up Nicholas Claxton, Tyler Johnson, and a 2021 second-round pick for JaVale McGee.
See, this trade would give the Nets another center. However, then they'll just be kind of like, JaVale McGee and DeAndre Jordan. Like, it's sure you get a little bit more depth, but you give up a nice young piece like Nicholas Claxton and a second-round pick. I think the Nets should try and go after more of an Andre Drummond type, go all in, and then just sign a bunch of guys in the buyout market. It's not that hard to just buy some guys in the buyout market. Like, try and get yourself Jamal Crawford, a Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, and Isaiah Thomas. Why not bring them in? Bring some depth off the bench. Yeah, there's some more offense, but that way your starters could have a bit of a break, I suppose.
The Nets are such a fascinating team to follow this year with all of the firepower they've acquired, having a big three of Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving. But with this being the case, they have a major hole in the middle at the center spot, where teams in their way, like the Lakers and 76ers, have superstars in Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid.
That's why I think you should go after Andre Drummond. You do have enough cap to do that. You do, just.
That they will need to try to slow down in the middle. DeAndre Jordan is just not the same player he used to be, and can only be effective in limited minutes at best. So for him to be their solution to guarding those two players that I just mentioned is a recipe for disaster. That's why this trade is even on this list, because right now the Nets are a bottom third team in rebounding, defense, and with DeAndre Jordan on the floor, their plus-minus gets significantly worse. So adding another center capable of holding his own is crucial. With that being said, though, is JaVale McGee really that guy?
No.
Sure, he has championship experience, he does well in the pick and roll, which would come into play with Harden and Irving, and he can do a decent job protecting the rim, but in general, he's not in any way, shape, or form a game-changing solution to that hole, and when it comes time to stop players like Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid, it doesn't really change all that much. This deal probably does make the Nets a little better overall, but ultimately in the conversation of Nets versus Lakers, I don't think it changes much at all in that regard, and if you favor the Lakers now, you'll probably still favor them after this trade, and if you favor the Nets now, you'll still probably favor them after this trade as well. The next trade proposed in the article was between the Los Angeles Clippers and the Houston Rockets, and in the deal, the Clippers trade Lou Williams and a 2022 second-round pick for PJ Tucker. The Clippers...
I know the Rockets want a player for PJ Tucker. I think Lou Will is a bit of an overpay. I'm not going to lie. Lou Will is having a very good comeback of the season. Like, he started off the season a bit shaky, but he's doing very well now. He's starting to make his shots. He's starting to play good basketball. I just don't think that's a good trade for the Houston Rockets. Yes, you get a second-round pick, but what? You get Lou Will. You could probably get yourself a... maybe you could get... I don't think you could get yourself a first for PJ. For the Clippers, I don't think that's a nice trade either. Why would you give up Lou Will? Why? Lou Will's a very important piece of your bench, mate. And considering you just lost Montrezl Harrell, no. No.
Are doing a fantastic job bouncing back from the disappointment they suffered last year, but they're still not perfect by any means. Lou Williams is definitely starting to show his age, putting up the fewest points he's produced in 7 years, and Coach Ty Lue is playing him the fewest minutes per game he's played since 2007. He's a complete and utter liability on the defensive end, and even though he is still capable of getting buckets when he gets the opportunity to, the Clippers don't need it as much from him. PJ Tucker is also a player that's starting to show his age this year, don't get me wrong. But the things he still does well do coincide with what the Clippers could value at the trade deadline, as he's still a versatile and impactful defender that can guard multiple positions, he's incredibly tough and battles hard on defense, and he's a true leader, which the Clippers can absolutely use. Players like Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Luke Kennard, Reggie Jackson, and a few others should be able to take over the ball handling left behind by Williams, while this deal improves the team's overall defensive versatility. And honestly, I do think this kind of deal helps solidify the Clippers' rotation when facing teams as good as the Lakers. Both Williams and Tucker are on expiring contracts, so making a trade like this for the sake of need makes even more sense, but ultimately a series between the Clippers and Lakers would come down to the mentality that Paul George plays with, because as they've shown us last year, basketball is much more than just talent. And finally, the last proposed trade in the article was between the Golden State Warriors and Orlando Magic, and in the trade, the Warriors give up Kelly Oubre Jr., James Wiseman, and a 2022 first-round pick for Nikola Vucevic.
Maybe. Because Vooch can space the floor a lot better than James Wiseman. He's already an all-star. He's been selected to an all-star team this year. He's having a very good season. For James Wiseman, I think James Wiseman has more trade value than that. Because then imagine Vucevic. I don't think this is happening. I don't think the Warriors want to give up James Wiseman. And a first. No.
Nikola Vucevic is in the peak of his prime, playing the best basketball of his life, and yet simultaneously the Magic team around him is eroding and trending in the complete opposite direction. A trade like this would be enticing for both teams because the Magic get a youngster with tons of potential in James Wiseman, along with a valuable first-round pick, while the Warriors get a player in the middle that fits much more into their win-now window that can produce at an all-star level. Vucevic is putting up 24 points and 12 rebounds per game this year, and his ability to score both inside and out, as he's shooting 41% from 3, would be lethal in the Warriors' offense.
Don't get me wrong,
He's an underrated passer for a big
good,
man.
but
he has the perfect
give up
play
James
style
Wiseman
to fit alongside
and a first-round
guys
pick
like Steph Curry
and Kelly
Draymond
Oubre?
Green, and Warriors would be dangerous
not.
next year as well when Klay Thompson returns. But does this put them over the Lakers now? Probably not this year, but if Klay Thompson does come back next season and can play anywhere near the level we've grown accustomed to seeing him play prior to his injuries, the Warriors' championship window would open right back up with this move being more of a long-term play. All of these trades are interesting in their own right, so we'll see what happens moving forward if any of them actually come about, because that could change things a ton. And with that being...
So let me know what you guys think of those trades down in the comments. Let me know of any trades that you guys would like to see that would make them a better contender than the Lakers. Let me know. I'm curious to see. Personally, the only one that I actually saw would work... Actually, to be honest with you, I didn't think any of those trades were very good. Well, I don't think any of them would work, be agreed upon. I just don't think they were good trades. But yeah, lads, that's going to do it for today's reaction video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you who have made it this far in the video. I appreciate you, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Boys!